So I was fortunate enough to see Nina Simone perform in 1999. She was eating this piece of gum when she walked out, and she had a cigarette as well. Like, it was pretty kind of incredible. When the concert finished, I crawled up onto the stage and headed for a piano, and I saw that, in fact, she'd put the chewing gum on her towel, and I just folded her towel over, and Mick Dyer, who was waiting in the wings, he gave me a Tower Records bag, and I put it in there, and then I took it home and kept it for 20 years. I'm Warren Ellis. I'm a musician, apparently, and I play with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. But I've written a book, Nina Simone's Gum. I had it cast in silver, but when you look at the piece of gum, I don't know if you can see it, but it's this kind of, can we see that? It's this incredibly sort of amazingly formed shape, and if you eat gum, as I do, it's very hard to pull something out of your mouth in that shape. So, have you got that there? It looks like she must have rolled it around in her teeth, because it's shaped like a heart, or like a map of Africa, or a kidney. Or Nina Simone is probably one of the greatest entertainers and life forces that's ever inhabited the earth. She was a singer, a black rights activist. She's part of the fabric of an incredibly sort of momentous time in American history and in global history.
I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people.
Basically, the gum became this spiritual totem for me. I even was convinced that my musical career was working out because of it, that the spirit of Nina Simone was watching over me. I didn't know where to put it, so I would move it around the house and hide it. I'd stick it in the piano, I'd hide it under books. I tried to stick it inside a book, but I couldn't find a book big enough to cut out the pages and stick the book in, the gum and the towel inside. And I eventually just stuck it in a cupboard at the back, and it sat there for years. And I didn't look at it many times, like maybe 10 times, in 20 years. But the thought of it being in there was the thing for me. Like, I didn't want to open it and find it had disappeared. So it became this mystical thing for me. And I also, it never felt like it was mine or I owned it. Like I was taking care of this important thing. But I basically realised that at some point it'll probably end up in the bin, and Nick's exhibition was this great opportunity for me to get it out somewhere so that people could see it. It was an incredibly nerve-wracking experience to hand it over. But I thought if it got lost or something in the transaction, or if in the exhibition something happened, I should make a copy. So I sourced a woman who did jewellery in London, and I took it over to her, and she got it, because it hadn't been touched or it hadn't been taken off the towel, it had stuck to the towel. She got it off really easily, actually, like because of the way it was so dry, and it's stuck in there. She pedalled around London and she found a place that would make the mould, the copy of it, but couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't destroy it. So eventually she said, I don't trust anyone, I'll do it myself. She made this attempt at it, which is what I have now, to make a copy of it without destroying it. I immediately saw this kind of this thing happen where people rallied underneath this most banal object, and their way of acting was one of love and care. Nick sort of designed the box and picked the colour material and things like that. Christina would have panic attacks and drive to the museum in the middle of the night to check that it was there because she thought it had disappeared in her head. She's like, is it still there? And she would go there. But also what you're actually protecting is nothing. It's something you can't see. You can't see the force of Nina Simone. It's the story, it's believing the story. Spirituality requires a leap of faith based on the imagination. And I find that a really beautiful thing because that's where it all comes from for me. So it's really it's like the imagination in flight, and it's about love and care. Right now, the gum is in Montreal in Nick's Stranger Than Kindness exhibition, and it I think will be on tour for maybe 4 or 10 years. Into space. Have I considered sending the gum into space? Wow. No, I haven't. But it's interesting that you say this because in an essay Maria Popova wrote on the Marginalian, she compares it to the golden disc. The golden disc which was launched into outer space, and she says that maybe this gum is the golden disc of this particular time of our life. I wouldn't let Elon Musk send it into outer space. I mean, you know.